Good morning, everybody. Happy Sunday to you. Welcome to our first of two live streams for today. We're starting off on Train Sim World 2, Class 40 BLU. We're driving a loaded oil train from Stalybridge to Huddersfield. It's been quite a while since I've been on this route. So let's see if we can get this thing moving and be on our way. Hopefully everybody is enjoying their day so far. So let's get in here and get started. I know there's like a... There's the key. Put the window down. Just make sure all of our lights are on. Alright. Brake, or is it? I think it's air. So there we go. There we go, we're on our way. Not too shabby. So it says we have a 16-mile journey, but it's going to be a bit of slow going. But we'll get there when we get there. And then as soon as we wrap up, we'll take a short break. I'll reset, and we will go flying around Florence, Italy. So join us for that if you feel so inclined. So we have a couple of tunnels we're going to go through, if I remember correctly. a slip. Oh boy. Hello, Jody. I'm getting a little bit of... Okay. Why did my engines... Yep, it suddenly seems like the engine has died. Although it's on, but I'm not getting power. Where's the sander? Is there a sander on here? I feel like I need some sand. I don't see the sand switch. Usually it'd be like right around here somewhere. It's a local brake. Papers. We were doing fine. Now all of a sudden it's like the engine just quit on me. You can't tell me there's not any sand. Maybe there is not. Oh, terrific. Yeah, it seems like well, now, isn't this interesting? I'm not getting anywhere. Currently, yeah. Yeah, it's just like the train, we were doing good, and then all of a sudden it's like it just suddenly gave up. We were just suddenly slowed down, and I was like, oh, there we go, sander. There we go, maybe that'll help me get some grip. I knew there had to be something that would... See, it goes up and then it's like it just suddenly... Let's see, make sure. I know the engine started. I can hear it running. See, the amperes goes down. This is interesting. Huh. Well. It's like I got no power. Watch this. So like the amperes goes up, goes all the way to the end, and then it just dies. Watch, it'll eventually give up. I wonder, hold on a second, I wonder if this is supposed to be vacuum. Or, maybe that's what it was. I think that's what it was. Yep, that's what it was. It's supposed to be vacuum. It's not air. It's supposed to be vacuum. Okay, got it. Now we're back on our way. That's what it was. The brakes weren't. The brakes were still like locked up. Okay. It's been such a long time since I've been on this route. Anyways. Alright, we're getting to the tunnel. Yep, next week we'll be doing my local route. Well, what was my local route. We'll be on the Peninsula Corridor. We'll be going from San Francisco to San Jose, limited stop service in the Baby Bullet. Should be fun. There we go. Now we're finally moving towards the light at the end of the tunnel. We'll get there when we get there. We're not in a hurry. We're not under a time constraint, so that's all right. I don't ever think these locomotives were powerful enough to really do this. I think it would have been better if there was two combined to get the thing moving. At least one in the front, one in the back. I think our driver's still overdressed for this sort of service. No. You know, the interesting thing is, it's not like we're a super long train, it's just that it's all, these are all full. So, yeah. like doing these freight services because they're generally a little bit less stressful. You know, you're not worried about getting to a location on time or anything like that. You get there when you get there. The only thing you got to really worry about is your speed. But I think after we get through this long tunnel here, that's when it'll be kind of downhill into Huddersfield. So. But I remember the first time I drove this route, it was a lot to deal with. I had no idea really what I was doing. Yeah, we'll be in Florence, Italy a little bit later, and then tomorrow we'll be back in the Ukers 52, heading from Baghdad to Abadan, leg 13 of 32. So we're almost at the halfway point. Our journey. It's going to be a straight shot. We're going to take off from Baghdad and we're going to head straight for Abadan. We've got a VOR we can tune into, so we're going to do that. I do believe. Hold on a second. Look at the notes here. Yep. 267 nautical miles tomorrow. We did finally get a viewer requested flight for this coming Friday. So looking forward to that. That should be fun. And we got some good stuff this week. We'll be in Rio de Janeiro. We'll be down in Brazil, Sao Paulo to Rio de Janeiro on Tuesday. Had to go, I think, running from station to station because there was stuff in between stations, if I remember correctly. I think they were logs. I could be wrong, but I think that's what they were. Cartel 99, I am well, thank you. How are you? What's your name? You must have followed me some time ago. I don't recognize your name. I'm well, thank you. Yep, we're just on our way here to Huddersfield with this loaded oil train. Here in the Class 40 BLU. As soon as we wrap this up, we will take a short break. I will reset the stream. Restart. Just good. Let's do that. downhill, and it's going to be a matter of staying on the brakes. Yeah, we got some good stuff coming up this week. More of my coffee here before it gets too cold. We had a bit of a hang up there for a bit going into Worley Tunnel. Train came to a stop, and it turns out my brake selection was wrong. I had it on air, it's supposed to be on vacuum. So we finally got moving again, and we were on our way. It seemed like the train was tipping me for a second. So we are coming around. I just remember this. There's two long tunnels. There's this one. I think this is the longer of the two tunnels. That I think it's to Huddersfield. Yeah, there was. That's what it was. It was log tunnels. There was a log, and you had to like go. Oh, nope, that's not it. It's possible. This is. Yep, there it was. So there's logs and maps, newsstands, and I think lights or something. It's where the collectibles are here. I think that's what it was. It was the busted lights at the station and stuff like that. Oh, there's a class 1. Famous passenger train with the manual gearbox and the lap brake system. So, noise people to know. Almost to the tunnel here. Yeah, it was kind of fun to do because I would generally do it off stream. I would find all the collectibles. And, I would try to find them all on my own first, and then if there was stuff missing, I would get the guide, and then that's where it would tell me like, oh, here's where I missed this one. And like you go to a larger station and you're like, you swear you found every station map or route map on the station, and then it's like, nope, there was one more. What happened? Some of the logs were hidden sometimes. Kind of like, it would almost blend in with the brush, and then you go see it, and you're like, what is that? Next Sunday we'll be on Peninsula Corridor, and then we'll fly around Rome, Italy for our scenic flight. Looking forward to that. We are in the tunnel. I know, when I used to come out of this tunnel, it would be like you gotta start getting on the brakes right away because you start to go downhill very quickly. This is going to be one of those quiet days in the chat. You never know. Now, is that a canal or something, Jody? Off there to the left, is that something like you could run those canal boats through or something? Very slender, long boats that some people live on, I guess. They dock for a while and then they stay there for a bit and then they move on. Excuse me. Kind of seems like that would be the case. It's hard to tell. Oh, maybe not. Okay, maybe it's just a some kind of drainage or something. Oh, well, it looked like it was like one of those canals or something that you could rent. You know, you could do the canal boats in there, but it looks like that's not the case. Maybe it's like a different kind of waterway or something. I don't know. I was just curious if you knew what that was next to it, to the to the rail line there. I mean, it looked like it had a walkway, almost like a park or something. Well, we are fast approaching the end here. Quick little train service today. Although it didn't seem like it was quick because we got stuck there for a bit. It's a canal way. You can take your boat along there with a path. Oh, okay. But it was like it came to an end, so I don't know if that's, you know, I wasn't sure if that's what it was or if it was just like a other kind of waterway of some kind. I wasn't sure, so thank you. Now we learned something new. It's always good. So let's see, once we get there we'll wrap up. We're going to target for a flight time of 8:30. Maybe a little bit sooner, maybe 8:20, maybe even 8:15. Once we get closer, we'll know for sure. Once we're pulling into our stop there, and then then I can give you a definite flight time. Should be a quick turnaround. I don't have to. All I have to do is take a quick little pilot's break, and then. Be on our way. Almost to the end. Yeah, the run on the since the corridor is going to take about an hour to do next Sunday. There'll be passenger service, limited stops only. We're not going to do a full stop. That's just for the MP36. That seems to be a bit of a waste of a of a train, so we'll do a limited stop. Now, it used to be, I think, they used to have an express service, which I think was like you did one stop, and that was usually maybe Mountain View, maybe Palo Alto. Maybe it was what's it called? There's the BART station. It goes. I'll remember it next week or something, or after I get done here. That would probably be the only stop if it was an express, so that people from the city would stop. You can get off and go to the airport there. But Yeah, there was a. I almost want to say there was a true baby bullet service, like it was non-stop, but they may not do that much anymore. They are electrifying the line, but it's been a bit of a challenge because they are, for those who don't know, what they found was as they were doing all this stuff, the roadbed underneath the rail lines for years, there's a lot of damage and stuff, so they've had to basically deal with all that on top of trying to build the infrastructure for the electrified railway. So yeah, there's all kinds of things that they did not take into account that they've discovered. Like one of the stations, they've basically had to elevate it up. They've had to create a whole new roadbed, and so it goes uphill, and then the station downhill on the other side. So yeah, good stuff. So they're a bit behind on that. Probably over budget as well, to be honest. Yeah, it was not a very well thought out plan. There's a lot of things I think they did not take into consideration. So. Alright, we're almost there, and then it should be just about downhill from here. So yeah, looking forward to getting back on the home route. I kind of feel like there's like a drop in speed as we come out of the tunnel here. I feel like, nope, it goes up. Okay, never mind. For some reason I thought it was a drop in speed. Good morning, Mick. How are you, good sir? You're catching us here in the last 7 miles of our run to Huddersfield. We're just cooking along. We had a little bit of a hiccup along the way. The train suddenly stopped there in Morley Tunnel. We got moving again. We're almost at the end here. Now we have that little bit of downhill. Oh, more than a little bit. Go flying into the good night. So yeah, you had a bit of a tough night last night there, Mick. It was rather you started off really good. That's what surprised me. You had some really good races at the beginning, and then all of a sudden it was like it just went off track after that. So I don't know, I've always felt like there's in games like that, right, that it seems like when you're doing well, it's like there's this code is activated within the game. And it's like it just something changes where now suddenly the game is more difficult for some reason. You know, the AI gets very aggressive, like not just very, they get overly aggressive. You know, it's just like it. Oh, that's my I mean, I could be wrong, and it could be a bit of a yeah, exactly. Like you're winning, you're doing well, and all of a sudden the game's like, no, we can't have that. You're having fun. You know, it's... I know that sounds like a conspiracy, but that's what it... You know, like... It just seems that way, though. that you know you're doing well and you're having fun and everything, and all of a sudden the game's like, nope, you can't have that. No, no, no. Watch this, and then the AI just like totally. It's like you're targeted by the AI all of a sudden. You know, you can't get past anybody. You know, you try to pass, and then they just punch you right off. And you know, yeah, it's just. I don't know. There's just something about it that just doesn't seem like right or like legit, you know. But you know, unfortunately, other people say, no, that's just crazy talk. Well, when you look at it and experience it, it's kind of hard to think otherwise. You know that it does feel like you're being punished for having a good time. yeah, I know, Mick. That's what I don't understand either. But that's like it feels like there's this sense of punishment from the game that when you're doing well and you're winning and everything's going well, then all of a sudden it's like the AI are invincible. They just do one tap and then bam, you're done. Yeah, I don't quite understand that, but that's why I'm saying it seems like at first, you know, you get going and then you're like you're doing well, you're scoring points, you're finishing and everything, and all of a sudden it's like you had those 5 races that just you could not, no matter what you did, you could not finish. And yeah, I'm just like, how, you know, like, I didn't understand it. You know, why does that seem to be the case? You know, what is it about the game that causes this to happen? You know, yeah. But I mean, it's insane to think that if you go back, Jody, if you go back and watch the stream from last night, everything started off well. He was winning, or you know, at least finishing on the podium or in the points, and then all of a sudden it was just like it just went right down. Like it wasn't even a steady decline downhill. It was just like it went right over the cliff. Yeah, I think you would have been Jody for sure. Yeah, it was like, it wasn't just like you had a few bad races. It just went right over the cliff, and then you recovered a bit, and then it was like, I think it just got back to it again, and you're just like, I think you just gave up. Because I had stepped out of the room, and then I came back when you ended the stream, and I didn't hear what had happened, but I was like, oh, uh-oh. So, yeah, I don't quite understand that, why it does that, but yeah, it was just, it perplexes me. You know, like when I was watching, you were like, okay, this is going to be a good night. You know, you're doing well, and everybody's having fun, and then all of a sudden it was just like, it turned, well, for lack of a better term, it turned into a train wreck. You know, yeah, I don't get it. That was weird. My controller disconnected all of a sudden, then reconnected on its own. That was strange. Huh, that was interesting. So I didn't get a thing saying that the batteries were dying. I'll have to check the batteries here in a minute. Make sure that they don't need to be changed. Yeah, but that's what troubles, you know, when I was watching that. That's what I don't quite understand about the game. You know, like it just seems like you, yeah, it's very weird. Yeah, exactly. And that's what, that's what doesn't make sense to me. Like you're doing well and all that, and it's all of a sudden the AI is just like, nope, can't have that, no siree. And it's, the crazy thing is, it's drivers who are not normally that aggressive. You know, like they don't, like I don't think, I've never seen Lance Stroll drive the way Lance Stroll did in the game last night. At least not that I can ever remember. Like I've never heard his name mentioned like in some questionable incidents. You know, usually it was Kimi Räikkönen once in a while, or there's a few other drivers. You know, Mazepin was one of them. There's a few other drivers that obviously were not. They shouldn't have been there. You know, so yeah, it's strange. It really is. It's like they become possessed or something, you know. But I don't know. It without Codemasters revealing, like, how do they? My question to them would be, how do you, for if you're doing a multiplayer race, how do you program the AI? Do you are they kind of like a bit low key at first, but then when you start doing this, if you start improving in the race, did the AI suddenly become like possessed or something? You know? Yeah, it's just, I don't know. There's something about it that just didn't make much sense. It wasn't lights on this one. It was the posters. That's what it was. I just saw the posters there. So yeah, like some of the drivers, like I'm like, I don't think they would drive that way in real life, you know. But I don't know. Anywho's. But I have to admit, I don't mean to. I'm going to have a bit of a laugh here for a second, and I'm not trying to insult anybody. But what I find the most entertaining part, Nick, is that you get frustrated. Pulse is starting to get frustrated too, because he's having some problems, and then all of a sudden, yes, I agree with that, Nick. Yes, that's why I'm like, I would like to know, like, how do they program the AI and everything? What triggers certain things to happen? You know, is there a trigger point that if you're finishing in the top 3 or top 5 or whatever, that suddenly the game switches? But when you and Pulse both are talking about the way that the AI is acting, I find it a bit funny, because then Joseph jumps in on that. Just like he does when you guys are playing FIFA. Oh, this game's broken. The AI suck. I was like, well, you're not saying anything different, Joseph. You're not adding anything new to the conversation. You know? Like, yeah, I think we get the point. You know? Oh my goodness! Like, maybe could you elaborate more, or, you know, approach it maybe a different way, or, you know? Yeah, it's just funny that he's just repeating what you're saying, and I'm just like, you know, like, come on, bring something different to the conversation. Yeah, he does. I know, but it's just like, I'm just sitting there laughing like, yeah, I think Mick and Pulse both have covered it pretty extensively that the AI suck. Oh boy. Yeah, but I can't help but laugh at that. It's just, and I'm not trying to be mean or anything, but it's just kind of funny, because it's just like, is there anything else you could add to it? You know? Yeah, I am kind of curious. I wish I knew somebody who knew programming. If they could find a way to, I don't want to say hack the game, but to look at the code and see if they can discern where is there a trigger in the game that causes these events to unfold. You know, that's what fascinates me the most. That's what I would like to kind of see is the that sense of, is there a point where the programming switches to something else. I know that they would not like that to be exposed, you know. But at least then it gives people a very clear picture of what to expect in the sim, or in the race and all that. And then you can say, okay, well, if I let them go and I kind of finish last a couple races, but at least I finish, then maybe it will change the trigger again, you know. But at the same time, that's not really what it should be about, you know. You shouldn't have to do that. But that's what it seems like. Like, you had those 5 DNFs, and all of a sudden the game's like, okay, we punished them enough now, and then you had some good results, and then I think it jumped back down to the yeah, exactly. And that's what I'm saying. There must be something, like, they're already a bit, you know, like, invincible, but it's like they become super invincible at some point, you know. That's what I don't quite get. What is it about those results that you got that triggers that super invincibility, you know? Where they're overly aggressive. They it's almost like they purposely push you off the track. You know, they get, you know, you are on the racing line, and they're trying to get there, and then and off you go. Or they just hit your rear end and you spin, and then that's it. Yeah, I don't know. There's something suspect about the whole thing. I could be wrong. I could be, you know, talking nonsense, but that's how it seems, to be honest, from my observations. But I could be wrong. And I know Codemasters will never admit to such a thing either. Because if that came to light, then I think there would be a massive pushback. Like, why would you do that? In what way is that fun for anybody? Even if you're like a seasoned esports driver, I would think even they would be like, yeah, that's pretty. Now, that's the other thing too, is the esports folks generally only play against other players, you know, other human beings. So they don't really face the AI in the sim, in the game. So, yeah, so they don't really see, you know, I don't think they ever really care about the fact that the AI seem to be, yeah, I know, and I understand that. And that's what I kind of thought was like, okay, he must have had another string of bad luck. He just said, F it, for lack of a better term, but. Yeah, I think if that was exposed, Codemasters would be kind of everybody like, well, why? Why would you do that? In what world does that sound like it would be fun? You know, because, you know, like Jody and I were talking the other day that, you know, most people play games, whether, you know, whatever it is, because they want to escape life for a while, just have fun. And when you're not, it's like you don't get that. You know, you're not allowed to have that, and it's just more frustration. And it's like, why? You know, what world does a programmer do that? So, or game developer, whatever. That doesn't make any sense. That is part of, I guess, the human experience. Alright, we have a short tunnel, and then we will be pulling into Huddersfield. We'll wrap up. Oh boy, it's almost 8:30 now. We'll shoot for like an 8:45 start time to the flying. Yeah, it'll be a quick turnaround. I'll get everything reset. Ready to go around Florence, Italy. Lots of stuff to see. Yeah, we'll have some fun with that, and then we'll we'll wrap it up and call it a Sunday. Oh yeah, I think I kind of remember this part here. It's been so long since I've been on this route. Oh, it's insane. It's, yeah, there's the, oh yeah, the tunnels. This is always the area that catches me out coming through here. So I remember when I first was doing this, I would always slow down way quicker than I needed to. And then it was like I would end up being late coming into the station if I was doing a passenger service. So you have this tunnel, it's a short one, and then there's another one just past this one. And then you come out of that tunnel and you're right there at the station, so yeah, there you go. Yeah, it's like you're coming down this 1% grade and it's like you can't. You see, we're already at. So yeah, we'll shoot for an 8. Well, let's see. Might even go 8:40 and try to get in there and get the flight done and all that. See, this was the other thing that I would run into also, was that you get on the brakes and then it's like you almost come to a complete stop. And then all of a sudden you start to pick speed back up again. I think it kind of levels out here in a minute. Just after we get outside the tunnel, I think. Yeah, see, it starts to kind of. Gain a little momentum here. Lots of people watching. Thank you all to the 5 viewers. Come in and say hello before we pull into the station. We don't fight. We may nibble, but we don't fight. Got a little bit of wiggle room here with the So you know, this, yep, this is always what happens, it seems. Can't get off the brakes fast enough. Scared. It's hard to say hello. Yeah, so the stop is there, and then we got quite a bit of ways. Oh, wait a minute, no. Excuse me. So, I don't know if that red is for this line or if that's for us. I don't want to chance it because it seems like, quite honestly, if I were to look at it the way I'm looking at it, it's almost like there's a red here on our side, but the red is way down there in case you go flying through the station. You got between there and here and there to get stopped before you spat it. So not a bad stop. There we go. Ta-da! Look at that. Did we get a gold? Maybe? Yes? No? There we go. That's what I'm talking about. All right, folks. I will see you in... We're going to shoot for about 8:40. So 8 minutes. Let's get this done. I got to wait for the stream to wrap up. Oops. So as soon as that's all caught back up, I will end the stream, and then I will see you, hopefully... Come on. 3, 2, 1. Come on. There we go. Come on. One more thing. Let's go. Come on, stream. Come on. Burning daylight here. All right. All right. Wait. One more thing. Come on. Come on. All right. Let me get things turned around.